Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing our TBR video for the month of August. Now, the smoke alarm thing is still going on, so I apologize for the beeping if you guys can hear it. Although last time that I recorded this yesterday, I don't think I heard anything, so hopefully you guys can't either. But today we're talking about what I've been planning to read for August. A lot of it is pretty general stuff. I'm not going too hard and giving myself a lot of goals here. I'm just kind of wanting to, experiment a little bit with a different set of series, just read a little bit of everything. So the only thing that I really am hoping that I will do properly is the stuff that relates to the Sword and Sorcery Book Club channel. So that stuff is related to the reading challenge that I'm going to do for the Scourge of the Serpent comic book event. That's like a Conan the Barbarian event that's coming up. And for that, we're going to read a few different books. Actually, they're short stories. We're going to read a few different short stories. I don't know where my list went, but hopefully I can remember them off the top of my head. So we're going to read Spear and Fang. We're going to read The Valley of the Worm. We're going to read The God in the Bowl. And we're going to read The Shadow Kingdom. So each of those stories is collected in a different book here. And so let me see if I can show you from which book each story comes from. So Spear and Fang is going to be from Project Gutenberg. There is no collected edition of Robert E. Howard's Tales that has it, so that just has to be picked up randomly. But Swords of the North does have the Valley of the Worm story. It's the second story that we see here, I think. Let's see. Sorry, it's the third story on page 13. So that's Swords of the North there. The third story from that is what I'm going to read. And then, like I said, Spear and Fang is on Project Gutenberg. And then The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian has the God in the Bowl story. Let's see what page it's on. It's on page 39. It's about 20 pages long, and it's followed by The Tower of the Elephant, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to read that this year, but it's important to read the God in the Bowl for the Scourge of the Serpent. And then The Shadow Kingdom, it's a Cole story, and that, of course, is going to be in the Cole book. This is going to be the first story, I think, in this book, because The Shadow Kingdom is the first Cole story. Technically, the second one, because there is another story that is titled Exile of Atlantis that technically introduces us to Cole through a interaction between a young Cole and a shaman type character, right? So that's it for the Sword and Sorcery Book Club stuff. I'm not going to read anything else this month, I don't think. Although I might start ramping up reading through some Jules de Gardin stories because I do want to do more of those videos for October. So it might be interesting to start doing that. But it's not really in my plans just yet. It's just a thought that I had right now. Moving on from that to comic books, there's 3 comic books that I want to focus on today. There is one comic book that I started last month that I want to read through and finish reading through, and that would be the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book. Actually, I didn't really read it last month, but I've had it open and kind of half read for quite a few months. So I want to get back to it and finish it and do a proper review for it, since I did want to do it for Summer of Superman last month, but it didn't really work out. So that's that one that I want to finish up. Then, in terms of new things, I want to start reading Superman Up in the Sky. This is a pretty short book, so I actually should be able to read through this very, very quickly and not have any issues with that one. It's by the same creator, Tom King, and it's actually kind of similar. So the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is kind of like a lone wolf and cub type story. Supergirl is the lone wolf. She meets a young lady that's on a revenge quest. They join forces. They go through an adventure together, right? Superman Up in the Sky is supposed to be like a Hercules 12 Labors type story where Superman is going to save someone. In order to save them, he has to go through a bunch of different tasks, and he does them each in order, and through that we reveal Superman's heroic characteristics, right? So that's kind of pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Also has Andy Kubert art, and it's really cool. Then I want to read through the X-Men Epic Collection Book 1. This is called Children of the Atom. It has storytelling by Stan Lee and Roy Thomas, and most of the artwork here is by Kirby and Roth. Let me see what their first names are. Obviously, Jack Kirby is Jack Kirby. with Werner Roth being the secondary creator, and apparently even Alex Toth also ends up drawing some of this stuff here. And you can definitely tell that the artwork improves throughout the run, mostly because the early stuff, Jack Kirby stuff, is good, but it's the way it's inked is kind of boring. It's very thin and doesn't have enough oomph to it, right? And then as we start moving through this and Kirby really finalizes the designs, and then other people take on those designs, you get to see much more bold lines, much more interesting takes on the characters, and it starts looking really, really good by the end of this book. But I've never read this. I've just been flipping through this for a few weeks, and I'm very much looking forward to reading through this because you know, I've been really getting into the early Marvel stuff, and X-Men's next, right? So yeah, then moving on from that, the last comic book that I want to focus on this month is Lady Killer, this beautiful giant library edition. So this book I got for free, actually, through a kind of convoluted process. Basically, I had bought it discounted from Walmart for less than cover price. I think it was like $18 or something. And then when I got it, it was a little bit damaged. So I reached out to Walmart to get them to either replace it or, you know, do something for me to help me, you know, get it fixed. And what they did was just refund me. The lady that I ended up talking to, I guess she just had a bad experience with the previous person she'd helped, and me being nice to her was like really wonderful in some way. And so she just gave me the book for free. She was like, okay, we'll just refund you. It doesn't even matter if it's not even damaged. Don't worry about it. And I did end up getting it for free thanks to that. But it was mildly damaged, especially the edges were popped, and I re-glued them myself. So, you know, they're still a little bit damaged, but they're not that bad anymore. And I want to read this because it's been staring at me for quite a while, and I love the artwork here. It's really, really cool, very interesting, and I just can't wait to see if I am going to like this or not. Also, this book size is just wonderful. I love how massive it is. It's not that thick, although it is really big, so it's actually quite you know, enjoyable to read. You can definitely hold it in your hands while reading. Maybe not the most you know, enjoyable reading experience, just like to hold it up, but it's doable, which is much better than you can say for omnibuses, right? So very, very good book there. I want to get around to reading it and hopefully doing a review for it here soon. Moving on from that to manga, we have Vinland Saga number 14. I just like the fact that we're dealing with Native Americans. I think that it's a really interesting, you know, concept, you know, to see Vikings, which are kind of the European equivalent of like savage noble type characters, right? And then the Native Americans. And I know that it's like a problematic thing to talk about savage nobles, but you know, in the kind of sword and sorcery realm that I enjoy finding myself in the most, that is kind of like a trope of characters. And it's interesting to see two kind of people that are usually used in those tropes interact with each other, and it'll be pretty interesting to see how that works, right? Obviously, Makoto Yukimura doesn't really work with those tropes that well, or at all, actually. But I think it'll be interesting to see how he does deal with it, and it's just cool. So I'm looking forward to that. It's also kind of a bit sad because the story did just end in Japan. There's only going to be one more issue of this coming out. I think it's going to be 29 volumes total, which is a bit disappointing, because that means that the last book is going to be a single issue hardcover, and it's just going to be weird to have a bunch of these 2-issue ones and then a single issue one, right? So yeah, then Chojin X book 1. I want to read this for a first impressions review. If I like it, I will do an arc review for as many arcs as I can with the first 5 volumes. And if I like it beyond that, I'll start buying them and reading through the series and doing reviews for it on the channel as best as I can. Then we have Blue Lock number 19. I did say I was going to review Blue Lock U20 arc last month, but I just didn't get around to it. But as soon as I read this, I'll probably want to go back and read more, so I will end up doing that this month, but it's not really a planned thing per se, just so I don't have to go back on my word for it. Then we have Iruma-kun number 4. I need to read this because I have number 6, but I don't have number 5. And I want to decide if I want to buy the 5th one or get rid of the series, right? I think I will want to buy the 5th one. Actually, I was almost going to buy it anyways the other day, but I decided to not do so because I want to read the book first, right? And if I enjoy it, I get book 5, I'll have book 6, and then I can start collecting more of it throughout the year, and that'll be quite good. And then we have Dragon and Chameleon number 2. I love these covers, man. They just look so cool. And the color choices are really cool. The first one was yellow and blue. This one is purple and white or silver. And I think the next one's green. So picking this up to read it this month so I can decide if I want to read more of it and then go and pick up more volumes of it going forward, assuming that I have enough money for that, because I'm kind of in a bit of a financial struggle. So we'll see how this works out. Otherwise, that's really all there is for this month. I hope you guys are interested in following with me throughout this month, and let me know what you guys are going to be reading, in August. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys later.